Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Wolmetz, and today I'm presenting my research pitch, which is titled Empowered to Engage, Linking School Mental Health Support Access to Youth Civic Participation. So, I wanted to start off by revealing some key statistics. 47% of US youth aged 18 to 29 voted in the 2024 presidential election, according to Circle. At the same time, 17% of US youth experience a mental health disorder each year, according to NAMI. So these numbers reveal a critical challenge. While we're facing an unprecedented youth mental health crisis in this country, we're also facing consistently low youth civic engagement. And that's really what drove my research question. What is the relationship between access to school-based mental health services and high school students' confidence and willingness to engage in policy-related civic activities in Suffolk County, New York, which is where I'm from? So, why is this important? There's two dimensions to this. So, for the practical lens, schools are key access points for mental health support for their students. NAMI actually reports that youth are nearly as likely to receive help at school as they are at clinics or from clinicians. And so understanding this link between these two variables can help us guide better policies in our schools, in our communities, and in my home county. And there's also a theoretical basis for this link. So psychosocial well-being has been in the past linked to civic engagement. Barry Checkaway, a professor at the University of Michigan and researcher, actually established this link. Yeah, at the same time, this research and other existing research on this topic focuses on college students and not on high schoolers, which reveals a critical gap that I really wanted to explore in my research. And as a whole, mental health's role in youth political engagement is a heavily understudied field in itself, and that's really what drove my passion for this topic. So, what do I expect? My hypothesis is that students who feel that they have access to mental health resources are more likely to report feeling empowered, supported, and subsequently report higher civic confidence and engagement in their communities. At the same time, I expect that due to funding disparities and resource availability, these different schools will have different levels within themselves of students who report differently on their own civic engagement journeys. So as for my research method, I would employ a comparative survey-based approach across 5 public high schools in Suffolk County, of course focusing on the correlation between perceived access to mental health resources and civic confidence and engagement. I would select 5 schools based on varied mental health resource access, which I have a criteria for, and that info would be gathered via direct school contact, so reaching out to those administrators. I would target between 180 to 200 high school students from grades 10 through 12, with that adding up to about 35 to 40 per school. And then as for the distribution of the survey, I would look to do it via anonymous Google form. I would look to contact principals, deans, who can help connect me with teachers to coordinate with them. And whenever possible, I would look to present in person, since this is my county, to explain the purpose of the survey. And for my last slide, I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse into the methodology of the survey. Of course, measuring those 3 variables, perceived awareness of resources. I have an example question that would be formatted on the Likert scale, and that would include rating how confident students are that their school provides wellness room spaces, guidance counselors, and mental health professionals. And then on the other end of things, measuring their perceived civic confidence and their own civic and advocacy participation. And actually, some of those questions that measure civic confidence were gathered from actually a new voters survey. So they're tested, they're battle tested, and they're ready to use in this survey. And those are some examples on the right-hand side of some advocacy measures that I would look to include. And that is it. So those are the sources I consulted. Thank you so much for hearing me out. I look forward to answering any questions.